The other day I was watching some old terminal montage videos with my daughter, and when we watched Mega Man X, she asked me who each boss was. So I went through the list, naming all the classics. Storm Eagle, Flame Mammoth, Armored Armadillo, Spark Mandrill, Boomer, Kuwanger. Wait, is that how you say it? What is a Kuwanger anyways? Well, buckle up fellow X fans, we're diving deep into how to properly pronounce this boss's name, for this is Gaming Linguistics. Now, for those who don't like a history lesson and who just want me to get to the point, too bad. Get wrecked, gain some patience. For those of you who want the backstory, let's get to it. Boomer Kuwanger, as I'm currently calling him until the reveal, is one of the Reploid bosses your Maverick Hunter, Mega Man X, will face off against in the first Mega Man X game on the Super Nintendo. Each Reploid was given a specific animal to take the traits of, and that also means the breed is added into their namesake. For example, Chill Penguin. He's a penguin. That chills. Okay, moving on. Most of the animals are pretty obvious in this first entry of the series. Penguin, eagle, octopus, etc, etc. But I always wondered as a kid, what in the sizzling circuits is a Kuwanger? Well, it turns out he's named after a stag beetle, which is called the Kuwagata in the land of the rising sun. I suppose Capcom didn't want to use Beetle in their first entry, especially since they'd use it in a future game with Gravity Beetle appearing in Mega Man X3. So they stuck with the Japanese name and tried to make it a bit more American sounding. So no, Kuwanger is not an American word. Yeah, I had no idea either. You learned something though. Probably? Maybe? Anyways, the first place I went to was the Google Translate page to hear how to say Kuwanger. Now, the English is butchered beyond belief, completely omitting the U in the word.
Kuwanger.
So, Kuwanga would be the Japanese pronunciation, which fits in line with the Japanese word Kuwagata or Kuwagata. Now, if you've played the Mega Man Maverick Hunter X remake of the first X game on the PlayStation Portable, you would notice something peculiar. They changed the name to Boomerang Kuwanger. Huh, interesting. You also get the opportunity to hear exactly how it's pronounced according to Capcom.
Boomerang Kuwanger.
Kuwanger. Interesting. So where was I getting Kuwanger? I don't know. Oh, you wanted something beyond that. Well, Kuwanger has a long A vowel as opposed to Kuwanger with a short A vowel. But considering as how the Japanese has a long A sound, it makes things more complicated if we're just going off the way it sounds. But is it truly accurate? It's worth noting that short O sounds that come after W is typically spelled using the letter A. Words like wand, wart, wasp, etc. I reached out to fellow English advocate and podcast pal Bedroth from the Very Good Music VGM Podcast, or better known as VGMVGM, to bounce some ideas off his brain and see where he landed with this. Initially, he agreed with me that because the word comes from a different culture, it would be based on their pronunciation. But as we discussed it, he was having trouble trying to think of English words that have wa in it without a vowel afterwards that also has a long A sound. Generally, these use the short O sound instead. He also mentioned the E was throwing him off and could be adding to the confusion as well. Words like anger, danger, and stranger were all compared to Kuwanger, and make a lot of sense. So, final verdict. Considering the Japanese origin of the word, Kuwanger fits with the natural Japanese long A sound, but because of the way it translates to American English, I don't see a major issue with calling it Kuwanger either, mostly due to their long A's sounding like our short A's phonetically. Converting things from Japanese to English, especially when the word itself originates in Japan, is always kind of tricky. Well, how'd we do? Which way did you pronounce it? Did you learn something today about the character's name origins? How will you pronounce it going forward? Let us know in the comments below. It's always great to break these down even if we don't get a definitive answer, for this is Gaming Linguistics. Big thanks to Bedroth as well for helping with this one. Check out his podcast in the description down below, and as always, thanks for watching.